Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our casting of round 3 of the 4-Power 2-Balance tournament. This is Sins of a Solar Empire 2 action. I'm Karaslegacy, your host for the day, as we start into this best of 3 series. In the north side, we have Math as the white TEC and his partner Akia as the blue TEC, representing Team the Nameless Ones. On the south side, we have Avi representing the green Visari, Koi, the purple Advent, representing Team Suneaters. Now, these have been 2 excellent teams in the tournament so far, so we're definitely looking forward to a pretty exciting game today. We're going to speed this up just a touch as we take a look at the openers here. Looks like Math is going for a Mazda opener, and Akia is opening with Mazda as well. Pretty standard on Crossfire, which is the map we have today. Expecting some aggression. On the south side here, we do see so Koi has opened up with Irradiance. We've seen Koi do a lot of Rapture play in the tournament so far, so interesting to see the change to Radiance. This is starting to become more common among Advent players, especially in the new patch. But already we're seeing a little bit of an interesting deviation here. So Koi is actually pushing into the Crystal World first, or the Ice World first. This is becoming more normal for Koi, especially, and some Advent players really like pushing on this early, whereas most players go with the asteroids. However, we see Math has bypassed the ice entirely and has actually moved into this faraway asteroid. Okay, so it looks like Math is expanding on the back end with his Cobalts and the Prosev colony. So he's going to go ahead and colonize these back planets while pushing with his Mazda. So the question is Math going to be pushing deep south? Is he going to actually rush with his Mazda, or what's the play? And taking a look, okay, I'm guessing that he is going for this derelict. So this is a nice solid derelict to start out with. Ultimately, the Mazda is one of the strongest capital ships when it gets to level 6. So it looks like Math is doing everything he can to level this Mazda up as quickly as possible, get to that level 6, and of course deny this experience on Avi's side as well. If you're still new to the patch, this Plasma Storm is kind of a new phenomenon that exists in the game. A couple notes here is that, 1, it increases the kill experience for the ship, so giving the Mazda even more experience in this area. And it prevents things like strike craft launches and missile launchers. So can be an interesting battleground to fight in. And it is possible we may see some fights in there, depending on how this goes. But at least for now, Math is simply taking out the derelict. Didn't even bother to kill these Cobalts, and then he's going to head back to finish his backyard. Now, it's possible Matt doesn't actually know about this experience bonus. He just may not be familiar with it. Else he might have taken the time to go and kill those Cobalts. I mean, every bit of experience for that Mazda helps. All right, taking a look, we see Akia's followed the normal path, going through the asteroids, likely into the ice world here shortly. We do see Akia adopting a more greedy play on this one, pushing for tier 2 civil before military. And we also see a push again deeper south as well. Is this also for the derelict, or is this actually going to be a more southern push? Now, the dead asteroids haven't changed in the new version. They're about the same as before. All right, nothing interesting on the influence basic cortex. Okay, we do see a push to trade and module architecture for the discount. This is very interesting. Akia is actually opting for trade with a Mazda play. The vast majority of time we see the TEC players utilizing trade with the Aachen, but this is first time I've seen in a long time somebody aggressively pursuing trade with the Mazda opener. And even though Akiya is going a bit greedy, he's still not wasting the opportunity to come and wreck some shop. Now, this looks like it is well timed. Koi is pushing deep into the southern territory. He has no ships in this area, and this asteroid is toast. This Mars is going to make quick work of this asteroid. And taking a look, now the second asteroid is going to be extremely hard to take out, as it has the ablative crust upgrade. But the ice planet has no defenses and is still pretty low in health. We might actually see a double hit here. And yeah, it looks like Akiya is ramping up for another attack. We'll see how deep he goes with this. How's Koi's response? Koi's just focused on the basic Radiance Disciples. He is moving into Tier 2 military. No real use of the influence right now. So Koi does not. Let's take a look at production. Yeah, Koi doesn't have any special production lined up at all. Koi was just expecting kind of a standard build-up play here, and I think this rush is going to catch him by surprise. Now, this is a good amount of Disciples. They're going to chew through these Cobalts pretty quickly, and yeah, I think Akiya realizes this is a bit more than he could chew, and he's going to go ahead and pull back. Okay, we do see a fortification on this asteroid. Looks like Math is joining in with the rainbow turrets, as we like to call them, using the pronounced influence turrets to aid your ally to fortify location. So I'm guessing Akiya is going to try to fortify this area up and stay a while in the southern areas. Meanwhile, we see Math has gotten to level 4 on his Mazda. Already making good steady progress there. And yeah, he's just letting his other forces take care of these asteroids, get himself some expansion and some much needed experience. We do see a push into the Tier 2. No freebooters yet. And considering the map, we actually may not see freebooters for some time. That yellow kind of comes onto the whims of the RNG gods when it comes to surveying your homeworld. So depending on how that goes will depend on whether he is able to unlock the freebooters or not. Taking a look at Avi. Avi is actually going for a 2-2 play. And a pretty solid build-up. Okay, so Avi is pushing for principally mass defensor play here. No second cap. And then, yeah, it's just taking the normal expansion route through the asteroids into his ice. But noticeably, Avi is expanded quite a bit slower than the rest of the map. Again, likely due to the fact that he has not opened up a second cap. And it does take the Visari a bit of time to really kind of ramp up their colonization force. Koi's added a Rapture on top of his Radiance. A good combo for the Advent players. And oh, now this is interesting. Okay. It looks like that attack earlier kind of distracted Koi, and he was not able to secure this asteroid early. So not only did Akiya do some economic damage, in fact, some more economic damage here as he was able to snipe this ice world from the safety of his little fortified area, but Koi also took a while to secure this back asteroid. So Koi is in a bit of trouble right now. Let's take a look at Akiya's. So Akiya has unlocked trade, but we have not seen any of it activate yet. It's possible the strategy changed once he realized how open Koi was to a rush and decided to spend his resources on fortifying. Yeah, he's doing a heavy fortification of this asteroid. Makes sense. This is a great staging ground for him. He can hit these two planets. He really can't be retaliated against. And this basically locks down this entire right lane. So this puts Akiya in a very commanding position on the right side here. So it makes sense he decided to switch gears and pull out of trade in favor of this. Okay, now we do see Math going ahead and pushing into the gas giant. We have not seen this much on Crossfire in the tournament some more. But I think this makes sense. He's really trying to level this Marsda, and this is a hugely wonderful derelict. Massive amount of XP, huge amount of resources, and plus the XP of these units. So if Math is able to secure all of this, he'll certainly get to level 5. He might even be in striking distance of level 6. We do see, Akia has switched into a more aggressive posture, getting his war chest online for more siege attacks, and then building up his tier 3 tech. Now again, we may not see any pirates this game, at least not till the very late game, just because of the lack of yellow exotics on this map. So I'm guessing he's going to go for some more of these other tier 3 techs. Alright, we do see Akia making another push. Now, this time it looks like Koi is more ready for it. The Ice World is still very weak. It's possible we might see an attempted snipe, but with this amount of firepower, I think Akia is likely going to run from this. All right, sees the new turret, decides to go and take a hit at it. Yep, he's able to snipe that out pretty easily. And then, it looks like he's going to turn around and run from this. Makes sense? Now, Avi is pushing into the middle here. Great play for a Visari player on Crossfire. The middle of Crossfire does have 2 Ferris Worlds, which is, of course, right picking for the Visari. So it's one of the reasons Visari is a pretty good pick on this map, giving them this kind of easy access to a second homeworld. Now I'm curious. Okay, Avi has added in a carrier and is continued with the large defensor force. Is definitely queuing up a big push here. For those of you who are Visari players, it's a good practice to look at. When you're doing defensor play, the carrier is a huge addition to that force. Defensors, their biggest weakness is often area of effect damage, and the repair cloud on the carrier allows them to heal up a lot of that damage. Combining that with, we're going to take a look here. So ultimately you want to get several of these regen techs, but especially this regenerative shielding. Constantly regenerating shields is always useful, but when you're dealing with area effect damage, it's extremely useful. So that plus your carrier will give your defensors a lot more survivability and allow them to deal with some of these big AoE hits. So for those trying to improve your strategies, feel free to think about a carrier inclusion when you're thinking about a mass defensor play. It looks like Avi may need all of the help he can get with as his defensor squad comes online. We do see a very large Cobalt force, and yes, Math was able to secure the level 6 with that big gas giant derelict. This is a huge potential power play in this game. And yes, it does look like Avi is going to start trickling forces. We'll go ahead and slow it down to normal speed here so we can watch the fun and see how this goes. Now, Math has a commanding position of this asteroid. He's got a huge amount of forces. He does have the radiation bomb, and it's been upgraded, and of course he has the missile barrage. So this is probably going to be a very terrible fight for Avi. I think once he realizes what he's seeing here, hopefully he's going to pull back. This is not a fight that Avi wants to take right now. Now, Avi does have good fleet supply, but not as good as Math. And we'll see if... Alright, the radiation bomb has come in, and there it is. The missile barrage has been activated. And while these defensors can dive and juke all they want, they're not going to be able to avoid the missiles for long. And as we can see, pretty much they are completely cleaned up. That said, Avi only lost about 18 defensors in that to soak up that missile barrage. That's I don't know if that was intentional from Avi, but if so, that was a very nice feint, soaking up that key ultimate and then allowing his remaining forces to come in and start doing some work. Now, 2 Visari caps are of course excellent, but 60 Cobalts is nothing to mock out here. Math has already taken the asteroid and is likely going to fortify this momentarily. The carrier has already been gravely weakened, and now interesting, he went for elite bombers instead of nanite armor. I would consider that a mistake personally. I don't consider bomber armor that strong. Nanite armor is just so much more effective, especially in these 2 cap scenarios where you're going to want to keep your caps alive. But we do see some good micro from Avi here, pulling his carrier back. Yeah, he's trying to keep it out of the direct line of fire of the Mazda so that he can kind of wait for the repair cloud to kick back in and then heal his defensors back up. Now, we do see about 45 defensors left against 40 Cobalts. It's a decent force if he can keep them out of the range of the radiation bombs, but I have a feeling the R-bomb is going to start kicking in pretty nastily here. The egg has now been taken out. It's likely going to have to run. This is where, again, that nano armor would be extremely effective. But yeah, so far I would say this is a decent fight for Avi. That said, Missile Barrage is going to kick back on here. He is starting to take a lot of damage from these radiation bombs, and I think Avi is starting to overstay his welcome. He's probably going to have to get out of here. Yeah, we can see that the defensors are really starting to weaken, and they're likely we're going to start seeing their numbers drop pretty heavily here. All right. Yeah, Avi is now pulling out with his carriers. Fencers are staying put for now, trying to again continue to thin out the Cobalt herd. But there we go. There is the key radiation bomb. As the defensor numbers dropped from about 50 all the way down to 20. That's the trick with defensor play. And for those of you who are struggling sometimes to play defensor or play against it, notice what Math did there. Math did radiation bomb after radiation bomb after radiation bomb. And for the majority of that fight, it looked like it did almost nothing. Like the defensor numbers were not changing. His Cobalts were steadily being whittled down. It looked like Avi had a dominant position in that battle. And then you get to that one last key radiation bomb, and suddenly half the defensors are immediately gone. That's how those kind of battles go. So when you're the TEC, your goal is to be patient, to keep up your radiation bomb pressure, to keep the defensors under fire. And eventually they will fold and they will start to drop down. All right, let's see how the rest of this fight is going. So in the aftermath of that battle, we see Avi is at 370 so supply, still maintaining primarily a defensor force. Matt did take a bit of a bloody nose on that one, losing a good amount of his Cobalts, but it looks like he was able to get his freebooters online, probably utilizing... nope, I was wrong. But yeah, was able to secure some yellows and get his freebooters online. We do see the addition of now 2 Coals added in, and his Sashinkos, of course, so... Math is building all the right forces he needs to go to work here. Okay, now Avi's coming back for a bit of revenge, and I think this is premature. The missile barrage is active. This has now been fortified. Avi's going to have to get out of here. And okay, there's only one Mazda here. Hopefully this carrier should be able to run, but it's likely going to come out crippled. Yeah, I think Avi was really hoping to kind of hit that thing before the fortifications kicked in, but at this point, these are TEC defenses, TEC production. Yeah, this asteroid now fully belongs to Math. All right, let's switch over to the right side. We've been kind of ignoring that for a bit. Koi has gotten to the 2-2 tech position, has added another Rapture, so he's getting a decent amount of capitals. And pretty much focusing on stolen vessels in order to maintain his focus here. But not a huge fleet supply of Koi. Still, whether he's been unwilling or unable, because he's been focusing other things. But Akia's got a nice 400 supply here and is focused on primarily Caliphs. This makes sense. Koi's composition, most of its strength is right now in his Rapture and Radiance vessels. So I think the Caliphs do make good sense here. This is not a Tempest heavy Advent play, so this switch makes good sense. Let's take a look at... Okay, we do have a 3 light factory production from Ikea. And yeah, so he's got factories right in tow. He does now start to have his pirate base coming online. And one thing I'm curious about... Okay, so no exotic factories. I've been wondering where all these guys have been getting all these yellows from. I guess just been very lucky on the surveys. Alright, Math continues to push to the south. He has now already secured this asteroid. Missile barrage is still active. And yeah, I think Avi's in serious trouble here. His capitals are still pretty damaged. He does have a decent amount of defensors, but it is not an overwhelming number. And defensors do not always do so well against missile barrage. Okay, we need to see how this plays out. Okay, Avi is scouting. Okay, so he is scouting this. He should be able to see this kind of position. This is a key interaction and one you need to be very careful of. So I don't like Avi's position in this scenario. He's got all of his forces really... Oh, that's because he's pushing an attack. I do not agree with this. He is going to be pushing right smack into the TEC's area with defensive fortifications, and then this missile barrage is going to be right in range. Alright, so they're going for the Marauder first. Good lesson to learn for a lot of you TEC players. Because the Marauder can basically make other units in the game invincible for temporary events, you really want to make sure he goes out first, because otherwise he'll just save his other capitals and then you waste a lot of time. Alright, we see the radiation bombs coming out. They're starting to code the defensors. The Coals with Fusillade are actually also quite effective against defensors, but what's really effective is missile barrage, and the missiles are away. We do see we're at about 70 defensors here for Avi, and so far they are holding okay, but they're still bathing in the radiation here. They've already taken hits from the barrage, and these 2 Coals actually do good damage against defensors as well. So I expect to see, yep, as more radiation bombs start hitting. Let's see if Avi actually pulls out this time or if he continues to commit to this fight. Now, what we're seeing is all these defensors are focusing completely on the Mazda. It's understandable considering, its missile barrage potential, but all the while, all of these other sub-capital ships are staying alive. And this Mazda, while it's taking a lot of damage, is soaking quite a bit. He's got Hoshinko healing. He also has repair from his repair site here. So this Mazda is not going down anytime soon. And as we start to see, yep, there it is. Once again, we see that big drop in defensor numbers as the radiation bombs finally do their job. And these numbers are starting to plummet. I think Matt's Mazda is going to be just fine. It's probably going to cripple. It might get it down to crippled, but he's not going to be able to finish this off. And Avi just spent a huge amount of vessels effectively doing absolutely nothing. And as this carrier tries to get away, Marza does have a stun available and is likely going to take a shot at this. This carrier may also... Yep, the carrier gets stunned. Oh. But is able to dash out at the very last second. And while all that was going on, I apologize, we missed the sneaky pirate pillagers. TEC Primacy's favorite play here. They managed to snipe out this asteroid, and Math was able to take it over. So, at this point, Avi is looking in desperate shape right now. Math is at 660 fleet supply. Again, principally cobalts with a smattering of capitals. Avi's at 450. Decent fleet supply, and he does still have his 3 capitals, but at the end of the day, and another missile barrage in the chamber here shortly, I don't think Avi is going to be able to hold off this assault. Meanwhile, on the right side, we do see it looks like Akia has been doing good work, is starting to push back against Koi. Koi has gotten up to 5 capital ships at this point. But still, actually, let me double check. Yeah, Koi still has a pretty low fleet supply, likely the result of all that economic damage early on. Kia has doubled his fleet supply, so, you know, Koi's capital ships might be amazing. He might be able to do tremendous work with them, but at the end of the day, you can't beat double your fleet supply unless you have, you know, the perfect counter comp. And Koi, unfortunately, is kind of being countered by a heavy Caliph presence here. So I have a feeling we may see a GG here soon. I'm going to go ahead and speed this game up just a touch. Let's shift back to Matt's focus here as he is pushing on these forces. And we're going to slow it down here to see if we see a nice new missile barrage online. There it is. The missiles are already away. Going to plow into these defensors. The bombs are out there as well, going to do further damage. And these defensor numbers are at 47, and oh my god, they drop. Yep, 30 defensors drop in a blink of an eye. And Math is just bullying Avi at this point. So yeah, realistically, this fleet, with the combination of missile barrage, there's just really, Avi does not have the time to build up a force that could counter Math at this point. And with Koi also being under assault, I believe it's highly likely we will see a GG here in short order. So we do see Math going up on top. This is a nice technique for you TCs to learn. These pirate pillagers are extremely annoying. Never send them towards the fight. Never send them around here. Send them in the back lines. Send them into these back planets. They're often highly undefended, and yeah, you can just snipe a couple of them and get some really nice economic damage here, while the opponent is too busy dealing with your main fleet. All right, missile barrage is almost back online. Math is bringing in his large contingent of forces. The egg is severely wounded here, and I would expect to see a missile barrage hitting this section in just a moment. And I think that will be the nail in the coffin for this fight. All right, Marza, let's get that money shot in. Oh, does he get... No, he's managed to take the egg out. Looks like... and there it is. Missiles are away. Defensors. Looks like they're not really running, but even if they do, it's usually too late for them. So we had about 60 defensors or so. Not the strongest missile barrage, only took out about 20 or so defensors, but at the end of the day, that's really all he needs. Yeah. The capitals are starting to falter here. And yep, with that, looks like we had the GG. And that concludes game 1 of this series. So the Nameless ones take a decisive win in the first game, really kind of bullying over the Suneaters. We'll see if the Suneaters are able to get some revenge in game 2. So I'll hope to see you all there. Until then, my name is Karaslegacy. Have a good day.